Hello and welcome to an episode of The Best Automatic. I'm your host, Captain Gorgeous.
And I'm your host, Captain Know-It-All. And I'm your host, Captain Pervert. What? And here's me brav.
Yeah, and you refer me as the supreme being of the beekeeper instead then. You don't want general.
Oh, give up, bruv. He has to be bloody awkward. Yeah, beekeeper, my hairy nostrils, because obviously he's scared of bloody bees anyhow. He's scared of them stinging him.
Oh yeah, this is a bloody bees. It takes a type of person to handle bees, right? So, as I'm going to talk about is our previous episodes, especially when I came back into it from the dead, when I was brutally murdered in an episode, well, a few episodes with me in, and I was brutally murdered by Captain Gorgeous over there and his killer car Christie. I keep telling you, it's a different shade of red.
You keep telling us all the time that excuse, because obviously it's a different shade of red, because it was all covered in blood, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was a victim of his car as well may know. So, yes, our previous episodes when beekeeper was brought back.
Yeah, because we got better, you see. So, previous episodes, right? Because it's a build-up, everyone, right? Because, the episode was like this, that, I come in, and obviously there was another episode to explain a bit more. But technically, what we've been doing is me judging how the Best Automatic's been going and stuff and strange things happen in the show. And obviously there were complaints about my brother putting strange clips on what didn't make sense.
Well, technically, I think they did. They were explaining quite a lot, right? Because obviously, if you pay attention, you might notice that obviously it does.
What, like what? Because obviously, with you doing strange things like this.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, we want to move on with the show, because the show is quite interesting. But obviously, from our latest one, that we had a bit of a predicament, because obviously we had Porsches. We had to pick our own Porsche.
Well, technically, because we've only got one PlayStation in one shed, what we rent, because it's my neighbours, right? That we have to use the same account, because we use this primitive technology of GTA 5, right? Right, not 6 or anything, but 5. But because there's plenty of AI technology in it, all in it. Well, yeah, obviously, I don't think them cars, how you think they're driving themselves and all that lot in the game. Yeah, alright, you get a little technical there. But yes, to explain it, that obviously, we had the same car and we could improve it, trying to get round our best automatic test track. Unfortunately, one of our AI drivers would have crossed it there.
Well, technically, we don't know what our professional drivers. We presume it could be our neighbours, because it is their PlayStation.
Well, yeah, but obviously, they do rent it out to other people, don't they? And obviously, we're our producer, because, maybe they bring these people individually on their own, and obviously somebody, pieces all this together and, tries to make an episode out of it.
Yeah, but we are whittering on a bit. But the point is that we sort of had a bit of a blunder and everything, because the IR beaters, and obviously, the outcome, and obviously, if you've watched the previous episode, you'll know.
So, we don't really be explaining much, but the rules are quite simple this time, because obviously they're going to let us pick out our own Porsches, or I should say the comic, because obviously, because it's Rockstar Games, but yeah, technically, we all know what the car is, right? So, obviously, let's go further ado.
But first thing, we have been putting other clips on to remind people what you are actually watching.
Well, obviously, because there's people what suffer with withdrawal syndrome of certain things because obviously I have a history of withdrawn Jason Statham syndrome, and obviously you lot are all got symptoms of Top Gear syndrome, because it's been on for a while,
Well, yeah, we need to have a dose of quality car programs, especially with all the witty from the BBC,
Well, this is a great tour and that.
Oh, don't you be swearing at me, we're not allowed to touch anything like that. No, because we got our famous Captain Gorgeous, and he's always been brought up by the BBC, because his mum would always want to get her money's worth out of the TV licence, doesn't she?
Well, yeah. So, Captain Gorgeous has an interesting backstory, don't you, Captain Gorgeous? Well, yeah, because my mum always had me watching, the BBC, and that is it. Obviously, once I went to my grandparents, and I wasn't allowed to see him again because I watched ITV, and I saw an episode of Knight Rider. I thought, and adverts, wow, the advertising for toys and all that, that'll get me really excited and stuff and all that. Oh yeah, we remember the humble days. It's like me when the humble days when you saw Jason Statham in his swimming trunks swimming, and
You what?
well, yeah, and then obviously he's in Lockstock and smoking 2 barrels or whatever, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because obviously, because he's a comedian, isn't he, or something, isn't he?
Oh yeah, no, quality actor, I think he is.
Well, yeah, because his most famous role, what got you more excited, was the movie Transporter. Well, it's a French movie, but obviously they didn't dub it in French or anything. They just all speak in English, didn't they?
Well, Jason Statham then was, so yeah, we'll have to think about putting some clips on because it's quite interesting.
Well, yeah, but, so, yeah, let's put some clips on of what we're trying to explain there.
Oh, yeah, it will help people.
Hello, I am Fernando Martinez. People always say to me, Fernando, when I want to kill myself or cry into my pillow or my wife has just left me for my sister, I don't have no music to play, assuming I am not near a radio and can't listen to you on the radio. Because Fernando, you are a genius and it is the only station I ever listen to. One day, while watching adult TV, I say to myself, Fernando, you are a genius. People are crying out for a soundtrack to listen to give them an optimistic slant on the tough times in life. You see, love is like a roller coaster. You pay a lot of money to be tossed around, and before you know it, the ride is over and you are covered in vomit. And if you are less than 4'6", they don't even let you get on. You see, music says things that words cannot. When you break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or both, or you get fired for embezzling, you need music. Music to stare out the window, or stand in the rain, or drive on the freeway in a convertible with the top down in a snowstorm. So, if you are feeling a little bit down, let Fernando take you on a journey.
Whatever cruising means to you, here's music to cruise to. Emotion.
So what was the point of that clip then?
Well, think about it. Back in the old days, that when radios came out, that was quite advanced equipment, and especially when they got that good that they were in your motor car. And we still use radios just to make sure that you get traffic reports and maybe listen to some music, but still gets interrupted. Yeah, because obviously they have to do that.
What do you mean you have to do that, Captain Gorgeous?
Well, for my experience of being a radio man.
You, a radio man?
Well, yeah, I was famous, because my unknown hero at the time, when Henry had his pirate radio show, and I always wanted to be a radio DJ, and the only way I did was to do an audition tape, and unfortunately with tape it does chew up, but it managed to get played at this this school called Helm School or Hell School or something.
Right, so you had the audition tape for being a radio DJ?
Yeah, like a pirate radio DJ.
So you was a pirate then?
No, I was a pirate radio presenter, and I was like playing music from like children's programs like I think it was Gummy Bears, Droids, Flight of Dragons, the movie.
Nothing like Teletubbies or anything then?
No, that didn't exist. There were Thundercats.
Thundercats, right? Yeah, well, I remember that.
He-Man, and Ewoks.
Ewoks?
Yeah, the cartoon, and D'Artagnan, and
what? So you was a DJ playing illegal, like kids music from cartoons and that?
Well, yeah, and when I told the story as well for the kiddie winkies as well. You told the story? What was the story about? Well, it was very famous back in the humble days that when Steven Spielberg made a terrifying movie called E.T. and it's about this alien. Yeah, well, I'll give it. It's about an alien coming to the planet, right? And it starts all its mischief, and it dies and it comes back to life, and makes people cry for some reason. But I always remember it because that got me ambitious about BMXs. Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, because that BMX chase, and every kid wants that because they always remember that bicycles, don't they? Because of E.T. But no, I told it like a different way, because we all know that Steven Spielberg wanted to make like another E.T. story too, and he did, but it wasn't nothing to do with E.T. But how he visualised it was completely different.
That's get on with it, Captain Gorgeous. What are you getting at? Yeah, this is not appropriate for a car show.
Well, no, but obviously I'm telling you a bit about my life story, because you were then playing radio clips and that.
Yeah, but we are coming out with a purpose for that, for our Porsches, because, because of the advanced radios and stuff and all that lot.
Well, I was thinking about, a bit of awareness of, if there's like, news reports and stuff, and it's nice to listen to that.
Well, yeah, but you get set now telling you that now.
Yeah, but it's still nice and humble to listen to the good old radio, don't it? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, mate, but I don't bother. I'll go, put my MP3 player or something on, listen to my own bloody music, not random music, what the DJs put on, right?
Well, yeah, but some will really, get you really moving. It's quite nice to hear something random, right? You're not expecting it, and you think, oh, that's a good tune, though.
Right, bruv. Whatever. So, back to Captain Gorgeous. So he's telling a story about E.T.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and it had the phantom raspberry blower in it.
The phantom raspberry blower? Isn't that from where the worm's turn? You know, when the men escape to live in Wales because all the ladies attack over England and that, and it was based in 2012.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the raspberry blower. And it had a man-eating toilet because he got eaten by a toilet. A man-eating toilet.
A man-eating toilet?
Well, yeah. And, what? Right, and what? And this was played at school for little kiddies? Well, yeah. Don't you think that was inappropriate? Well, it was based on a pirate radio, man. You know, Henry and all that, though. I mean, he did other characters, but I always remember that one with like a series of him being a illegal, radio DJ.
Right, so that's back in your past, isn't it now, Captain Gorgeous? I actually do find it quite interesting, but it's not very appropriate for knowing about cars and stuff, is it?
Well, no, not exactly. Alright, so what are you going to get at now? Well, where's this going at then?
I'll tell you what, I'll put another radio play. Nobody else don't talk about anything else about, wanting to be a bloody DJ or whatever.
What a DJ? I was a pirate radio presenter.
Oh, whatever. Bloody hell. Like them kids when we were like, we used to record music and trying to pause the DJ out of it,
You should go out and buy them, shouldn't you? You want the music. That's why they are really good for encouraging you to buy singles.
Well, yeah, but obviously, I do remember that ancient program, Top of the Pops, until that bloody Yorkshire bugger came on.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I mean that Yorkshire bugger, that bloody Jimmy Fix-It guy, right? Thinking he could fix things, whatever, but he was really creepy and stuff, and obviously we all found out too late, didn't we, on what? But, but there were telltale signs. He should have realised what he was like when he was telling people to clink all their seatbelts and stuff and all that lot.
Well, yeah, and it didn't help, even when I met his friend in Scarborough. He was quite famous, for, a substitute of eating oysters, for like Viagra or something. I think oysters like Viagra, and he used to eat so many of them. Right, and thing is, it's because Yorkshire, you got it seaside, but you always stick to Yorkshire one, right? And obviously, you got good old Bridlington, you got, good old Scarborough, and obviously this Jack and Nelly, he was right famous, this ice cream shop he had, because it was near harbour. And I got this, as you do, you kid, it's warm day, you want an ice cream, so I got this ice cream, and he's there handing it to me, and, you first taste the ice cream, and I'm like, bloody hell, it was a bit weird, it was warm on top.
Warm ice cream?
Yeah, and it was warm and salty. And I says, it's a bit off, and he says, look lad, you just get used to it, it's, you're not patronising me. Get used to it. It's obviously it's going to taste salty, young man, because you're at the seaside, really patronising me. But why would it just be a bit warmer at a certain top of it, and the rest were cold and tasted a lot more like ice cream, but not salty?
So that sounds a bit weird.
Well, yeah, and he used to drive a panel van and all, so you didn't want to get a lift off him, especially when he sat at front of the van. He had his weird wandering hands. But, yeah, he was no Yorkshire bugger, but yeah, no, Yorkshire's going to get a bad reputation for, saying stuff like that. And it's a total embarrassment, but yeah, so, horrible, isn't it? But yeah, it's part of bloody, what happened in the world. But yeah, I think we should sort of like move on and get on to a because we might be talking about vehicles and stuff, aren't we? Well, yeah, we are, but obviously we got sidetracked, didn't we, from our beloved Captain Gorgeous, because I can't believe that he wanted to be, doing something illegal by having a pirate radio station.
Well, no, but I admired that,
Well, you did a bloody tape, didn't you?
Well, yeah, and
And it did get played in front of kiddie winkies, didn't it?
yeah, it did, and yeah, lucky, well, yeah.
What do you mean lucky enough? What?
Well, the tape got chewed up and all that lot, and well, there was other competition and stuff and all that lot. Everybody liked to be like a radio pirate jockey, and you get famous, but obviously a naughty person. But then later on, imagine if you could do pirate TV, but you don't have to be a pirate or do anything illegal, because obviously our beloved YouTube came out in 2024.
Well, yeah, exactly. But obviously technology was a little bit different back in the day, though, back then, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, even cameras weren't that, well, it's still hard to get hold of a camera, wasn't it?
Yeah, bloody expensive. So, yeah, you could get a camera back in the day, like some big VHS thing or something. Still tight, no. At the time later on they came out with discs, you could record on discs and all that. Look, but obviously now you got all your SIM cards and stuff and all that. Look, completely different. But in the heyday, the technology, was out there that wasn't, like your gaming console. You could put your videos on, as we all know, but obviously, it's but at the time it was like on computers and towers and stuff and all that lot to put your videos on. We still don't know what we're actually doing, and obviously it might seem primitive stuff and all that lot, but yeah, we are learning. It's like, I would say, Captain Gorgeous about, this radio malarkey, obviously, well, obviously we don't want, you're just rambling, aren't we, now? So, this is that point. I know our beloved Top Gear when we had Jeremy Clarkson, James Mayer and Richard Hammond, they used to have the Daily News or stuff like that. But that banter of talk was still car related, and we're just talking, rubbish that people won't care about. You might as well talk about, other hair days.
Well, yeah, we could do. It might be interesting. They might want to know.
Not really.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously, we might be talking about Porsches and stuff and all that lot. Well, yeah, but obviously, you did find it interesting. Well, yeah, we found it bloody weird that you were talking about children about that horror movie, that E.T. story thing. It's sort of, isn't it? You remember how it started off? He had that scary, weird noise, and then especially when I've been, trying to get more information, and Steven Spielberg wanted it a certain way, and then it went more kiddie friendly or whatever. But the thing is, the point is I didn't know this, that I like the idea what Steven Spielberg did. I mean, a good example is War at Worlds. War at Worlds. Well, obviously we've got, the book, and it's different, and the music, and we got to all them fancy drawings and all that lot, and it was all in England. But you remember the old movie in colour and everything, that the machines had invisible legs. But I did like the idea, not invisible legs, but they were hovering and stuff, and that they still seem menacing with the heat ray. But obviously when it came to Steven Spielberg, where he did Tom Cruise, he's like a parent left with his kids. Well, it's his time to have his kids, and obviously all the world goes mental because it was different, because in the Orson Welles book, they come from Mars, and then they build the machines. Obviously, with the movie, the original movie, it's more or less the same, but we don't know. But we think of Orson Welles and book that they're building them, and then they come out. But Steven Spielberg, it's like there's none of that waiting. I mean, there's just a strange storm. Next thing, they're all popping out of the ground because they're already been there. I think maybe that's why he got a lot of criticism or stuff in there. Well, yeah, but he did something visually different. It's like he wanted to have a different type of alien movie, because if you really think about what was E.T., an alien, yeah, but did you know that when E.T. came down from space, that, I remember telling my story, he came down in a flying washing machine and all that lot. A flying washing machine? Why would he come down in a flying washing machine? Well, I couldn't say he came down with a portal toilet. A portal toilet? What are you on about?
Actually, wait on. I did a video about buying cassettes and not cassette tapes. I'm only on about cassettes, but toilets. When and they were doing like toilet things. Like compost toilets and stuff and all that lot. And I think that there's some weird point that I said it just a typical alien. A good example, if you watch E.T., you remember when he sees that somebody dressed up as Yoda and he's going, Homer, or something. I always thought, Portaloo, and he's saying that is Yoda's poo or something. They're not the aliens, but it's intelligent poo. I mean, because they're always messing about with plants and stuff, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, right, but no, I don't see it that way. It's a bloody little movie and all that lot. Now you're saying it.
Now, blah, yeah, that's right. Right, all them alien movies, you've seen them all getting tapped by, aliens and stuff, and everybody dresses up in, not environmental stuff and, rubber masks and stuff and all that. Look, the worst film for that is obviously Beloved E.T. Remember when they came in with all the breathing apparatus and all that lot, because obviously Elliot is playing with some alien life form poo, isn't he? That's why they had all that plastic and all that lot. If it was a typical normal alien, they wouldn't have done that, would they?
So you're actually saying that E.T.'s poo? Well, yeah, because that poo goes in water and it goes that funny white colour, that dog poo does. It goes white, doesn't it? Right. Well, when E.T.'s sort of like when he finds him and he's all gone white, isn't he? And then all of a sudden when he goes all brown, because he revived poo by doing something like fertilising it. Maybe that's why that flower comes alive and all that lot.
Yeah, and that's another thing, right? When the bicycles are flying and all that, because obviously the clue's there, Yoda, that Yoda goes to the toilet, doesn't he? Obviously he needs a number 2, right? And his poo's alive, and obviously E.T. has got the power of the Force. I mean, he can make things fly and float around and all that, same as Yoda as well.
Yeah. I remember trying to do a history on that. And obviously I had to change it, because obviously I couldn't say to Kiddie Winkies about the the flying Portaloo, as I said, because obviously, I mean, later on, obviously, like them men do sort of examine him, and obviously I think it's Elliot, because he's been playing with alien poo, that he gets contaminated, and so when he has a poo and he's earthling toilet, right? He infects it.
What do you mean he infects it?
That's where the man-eating toilet was created.
What?
Yeah, well, he has a poo in the toilet and then the toilet comes alive. So, you got a toilet what's alive, and what's it do? Well, I call it the man-eating toilet because it eats people. So, to me, that ain't appropriate, because I always remember E.T. as a beloved little kids movie.
Yeah, but is it so, right? Because, Stephen's a bit of a tricky little fella, right?
thinking PG movies got away with Jaws PG, yeah, but would you really say that's really nice, pattern for little kiddie winkies, really?
Yeah, I want to scare the bloody life out of them, making sure they're not going to play swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want your kids to really behave, just say, look, don't behave, the bloody poltergeist will get you, right? And they'll soon believe you when they talk about clowns and trees and all that lot, and saying there's loads of dead bodies buried under your house and all that lot, because you're on an ancient Indian burial ground and that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I see where you're going with this, right? I never thought of E.T. that way, actually.
Well, I never thought about the idea when I thought, back in the old days about, when they talk about Stonehenge, because it's all round. I was thinking, when you see E.T. spaceship, it's all rounded off. What happened, Stonehenge was made that way for them to sort of land in the middle and it holds it in place. Because really, technically, I think the spaceship would have rolled over like an egg. So, yeah, I think it could be like an egg cup, Stonehenge. What are we talking about Stonehenge for? Well, I thought it'd be, because quite sound educational. I always remember when I was doing all that toilet stuff, yeah, it is one of them movies. If you really put your thought into it, yeah. It's brought the bond of thinking, typical, it has to be aliens. Yeah. Why can't we have something, horrible? I mean, Elliot's cuddling it, and obviously it's got that, that glowy finger and all that lot.
Oh yeah, it's weird glowy fingery finger. Yeah, I know, right? I thought that, I never thought it could be poo, like, because he's got nostrils in his breathing and all that lot.
Yeah, doesn't mean any animal can be typical like a human being. I know we got so used to typical aliens. Like Star Trek might be a good example to take the mick out of. All the aliens all got 2 arms, 2 legs, and the face is just a bit different. But they always look like humans in suits or something. And obviously that's the difference.
So, yeah, it's quite intellectual, but the thing is, though, shall we get back on track? Because we're really talking a load of shit now, aren't we?
Well, yeah, but it's intellectual shit, though, don't you think?
Well, yeah, I know, but let's put a clip on.
It's time for you to have opinions of our own. This is WCTR.
I am Fernando Martinez. Thank you so much. It's great to be back. Joe, you make the clapping sound effects a little bit too loud. That's my producer, Joe, everybody. She is a woman, not a lady, not a fox, not a chick, not a piece of ass, but a woman. Now listen, for those of you who say Fernando, he's like a dinosaur, he does not understand the modern world. He is an old relic of the bygone age. I like to point out Joe is a woman. More or less, therefore, Fernando, he has gone multicultural. He is very much of this century. I am famous for many things I have been in this life. Entrepreneur, singer, therapist, artist, disc jockey, philosopher, lover, corporate spokesman, martyr for justice and truth that lives in every man and woman's heart when I was unfairly imprisoned for entirely unproven allegations. In short, I understand life and life, she understands me. I have been chosen to help guide you down these crazy rapids. After my show was taking off the air, now I am making money by talking about money, and making love by talking about politics, and also because I am the new man. No longer do I talk about grabbing the girl by the haunches, riding her like a pampas bull, and sating your every manly desire. No. Those days, they are gone. The medallion, she is off. The children, they have a mommy and daddy to look up to. And I am not making inappropriate remarks by letting my passionate gaze linger on Joe's remarkable form. Not for a second.
Oh, shut up.
You see, I take the classes, the awareness classes, the 21st century classes. Now I know I live a long time in ignorance. I feel so sorry for treating the women like pieces of meat. Now I treat the women like they are equal to me. Goddesses, it is not appropriate to tell a sexy lady that her curves make your loins turn to fire. Now you say something sensitive, like, Have you considered an exciting career in microfinance? You are very smart. You see, these days, there is so much left that is unsaid. Like Lost. It's so good to be back, right, Joe?
Yes, yeah, it's great. We have a great show. Let's get into it, Fernando.
Listen, money talk time. The markets have been going up and down. Fernando has been watching the bond market especially. Very volatile. Like a lit flare. Boom! And then gone. For your financial questions, just go to the phones. Speak. Make sweet love to me. Talk dirty like you think Fernando has been a real naughty boy who needs a good spanking.
Yeah, wow. All right, well, anyway, Fernando, I love your show. You've really given me some fantastic stock and tax avoidance tips over the years. I wanted to know, how do you feel about the debt ceiling?
Listen, my child, I love ceilings. I love staring at ceilings. I love mirrored ceilings. I watched a lion hunt his prey, only backwards. A man grows old, but a lion grows distinguished. I am a lion. They put me in the cage, but I break free. You must break free of the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling is a ceiling I do not love. She is very delicate, like a barrier of skin that denotes youth passing into full womanhood. You must smash through it with turgid loins, no? No, absolutely not. This is not how we think now. This is the old Fernando. How we think now is the debt ceiling is an arbitrary barrier to a productive, integrated economy. If we cannot borrow, what have we become? We have become fools. These politicians, they should not play with the debt ceiling. You are going to end up in a lot of trouble and get slapped.
Okay, let's go to our next caller. She's really upset.
Hi! I can't believe what I am hearing. Who are you? What happened to the show Lean In?
Yeah, they kind of got canceled.
I don't want to hear about the stock market and politics. I'm a housewife. I want to hear four women prattle on, claiming to empower us by talking about celebrity rumors, sex, and shoes, while passively aggressively criticizing each other.
Listen, I feel for you. I am very sorry, woman. But I want you to listen to that chromosome.
Why would I listen to...
Precisely. Listen to this white chromosome hanging up on you. You have two X's like a bottle of moonshine, and you make people go blind and crazy and feel terrible the next day.
Okay, Fernando, come on, that's enough.
Oh no, sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. I try. I make progress. I relapse.
Let's get to our first guest. Please welcome to the Fernando Show gubernatorial candidate, former teacher, and successful divorcee, Sue Murray. Sue, come on in. Sit down.
Good to meet you. Let's rub noses like Eskimo people.
Good to meet you. I'm so excited to finally be on your show.
That's a fantastic pantsuit you're wearing. A suit that looks like pants. You are a professional lady that does not show off the cleavage.
Thank you. Really, I think.
Let's get to it. The state, she is broke. The poverty, she is terrible. The people, they cannot afford a new cell phone every month. What do you think, Sue?
I think getting a woman in office is crucial. If I go through that door, I take everyone with me. I take all of the women of San Andreas with me. They'll all be governors if I am. That's how I want everyone to think of it. A door we're breaking through because you're voting for yourself in the shape of me.
This is a very big office. How will you feed all these women? And they will talk loudly? And some of the women, they are angry, and some they are bitter, and some they are catty, and soon everybody is menstruating at the same time. This is a problem.
Well, it's more of a metaphor. Listen, I've done a lot of thinking, and I've realized the only way for women to move forward is if we all start to think in exactly the same way.
Like ants, the hive mind.
Exactly. By all being the same. That's how we will be free. Listen, women finally need to make it through the door of the state capitol.
You are probably just going to spend a lot of money redecorating and looking through catalogs.
Fernando, we spoke about this. We know women have a legacy as problem solvers and can emotionally detach themselves from things. Well, I want to bring that attitude to running this state for everybody.
Well, that was interesting, but I still don't understand why we're playing radio clips when we were meant to be actually doing our Porsche challenge.
Well, yeah, I know, but Yeah, I mean, you are meant to be in the Porsches, aren't we, and all that, aren't we?
Yeah, it's right. So, obviously, this is how it's going to be now. So we're having no time racing drivers or not so time racing drivers for the professional drivers on this challenge. It's just going to be us four, because obviously, you know, just in case, you know, from our previous episode with the Porsches that obviously missed takeaway beaters. So obviously, none of us got a car in their garage, and that's what we're playing for. So whoever fills up their 10-car garage, it's going to be, you know, maybe the winner.
And maybe keep that job until the last person doesn't.
Well, I didn't know that was the bloody rules.
No, I didn't at all. But it could be, because I think the producers might be hinting at that, you know.
Alright, so that ain't a good thing. So, let's get on with our videos where we actually went out and got the money from the producers to actually buy our own Porsches.
In GTA 5, everyone.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, but they're called the Comet.
Well, yeah, no, but we all know what it is, don't we?
Yeah, anyhow, instead of arguing, we want to get on with it, right? So, who's going first?
Well, I don't know, whoever it picked random. Look, we'll find out, won't we? Which clicks first. Alright, here's the clip, everyone.
Oh, it's my clip. So this is the one I bought, the four-wheel drive one, obviously. We do have off-roading circuit.
Oh wait, you were brainy, aren't you?
Brainy, what's that mean?
Well, I mean, it's some form of brainiac or whatever.
So you think this might be a good Porsche then?
Well, it's not the fastest, but it should be really good off-road. And obviously when I did it, I was sort of like not really great at handling on this.
Yeah, because they didn't give us much time to practice with, did they?
No, they wanted us to have our first run on active, no practice or anything, learning to it. And obviously, because I'm racing the drive, they just wanted us to see how good we are, have no practice, and this was our first effort, and they're sticking to that, aren't they? The producers were allowed one on the prize. So, what do you think your time was? Well, I know what my time was, near enough, you know, not to the milliseconds, but obviously, yeah, I mean, really, it might just barely get onto our, you know, our board.
That bad, was it?
Well, technically, yeah, it wasn't that great, actually.
Yeah, well, you know, played in it. So, what was your time then? Well, yeah, it did take a bit of time, didn't it?
Don't knock it. It was a bit, well, you're a bit taking the bench really wide and stuff and all that, wasn't you?
Well, yeah, obviously I was, yeah. So, you know, mine.
Yeah, that ain't a bad run. I mean, I've got to admit, that was quite interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, alright, your time was much really brilliant, but it looked like quite a good drive, you know, for your first time in there and doing that with that vehicle.
Yeah, it was actually. So I think we should move on and try for who's going to be next now, isn't it?
Yeah, so who will it be? We'll have to see, won't we? So, it's me now, everybody. This is my clip and this is my Porsche, and obviously I was very clever, me, because I didn't even have to buy this car.
Oh, whoopie-doo, what do you mean you didn't have to buy it?
Well, the producers let me have it, but no, the thing is though, you know the casino?
You've been gambling. You don't let me gambling, you. You're naughty, your mum found out you're in trouble.
It's only virtual anyhow, I'm in my 50s anyhow. So, I won this car on that wheel, and obviously I have changed it and I modified it or anything. And like I said, the producer said that I've only got one attempt on it. And yeah, I think when we all practice, and when we first go in these cars, they seem to catch us out, because even it's just a game, they all have their little quirkiness, and sort of, in a rockstar logic way, because obviously, the Porsche is meant to be a rear engine vehicle, what does, sort of like the way, doesn't it? Well, yeah, the old ones do. I mean, obviously they sort of improved them, but obviously, it's still got that, that unpredictability or whatever you would like to say. Yeah, it's quite great though. I mean, I like the idea of this. Obviously, we didn't do that well on our other channel, but yeah, trying these cars out it'd be nice to see which one is quite fast. Well, obviously, well, yeah. So that's my time, and obviously I'm quicker in your little four-wheel drive one. Well, yeah.
Well, that was quite interesting. Now it's just me and my brother left, right? Okay, so it's going to be quite interesting what he's going to pick and see how we get on, isn't it, everyone?
Yeah, I suppose it is. I mean, I wonder what Porsche you'll be getting.
Well, you're going to have to see what I bring on the track. Yeah, Captain Gorgeous.
Yeah, won't be quick as mine though, will it?
I'll give it a rest, bruv. Now, here's the clip, everyone.
So, right, now obviously there's quite a variety of vehicles, and obviously obviously there's mine, obviously, as you know, and I'm just going through my collection of vehicles, and obviously, that Captain Gorgeous, he just recently just said, didn't he? He won the comment on the casino wheel.
Yeah, and you nearly complained about it.
I know, but the thing is, I wouldn't and I've got this for winning it, and obviously can't sell it. If I sell it, I don't get no money, but obviously it's not bad. It was my first attempt, you win and you sort of like forget about it, and you drive it for a bit and then you forget about it. So I like this, that, I went in the garage, got this here, and obviously I've got a new big anti garage, and there's somewhere to pay it in, isn't it? Yeah. My first attempt driving this vehicle, especially on this automatic test track, and obviously I'm trying to get the fastest speed, and hopefully I can, but obviously you can easily do that, but obviously you get a little bit airborne and a bit squiggly and a bit, I'm trying to avoid that rock all that long. Obviously going to the damnation ollie. Yeah, you don't mind these some nasty little bits in this track. I mean, yeah, alright, you can't just simply drive off into the water, but obviously, they're not proper crash barriers, and they've got gaps, and we've had it, when you sort of hit the wall, and next thing you just immediately stopped.
Yeah, they've got like snaggy bits and stuff, so that's why we can't really just go ramming in walls and hopefully we can get away with it.
Yeah, because like the phrases are, you keep it between the ditches. If you're like Conor McRae, you use the ditches to get you around.
Well, what are you doing there?
Well, it's sort of like, that hill does sort of stop you, and it's a bit of a killer for time, isn't it, that bit.
Well, that was rubbish then, wasn't it?
What? Because you was a bit quicker than me.
A lot quicker.
So, they're leaving their best for last then, are they then, bruv, are they?
Well, no, possibly. What do you mean, possibly? I mean, well, it's you now, isn't it? So we're going to see your, see how good you are then. Well, yeah.
You seem a bit off, bit off, bruv.
Well, yeah, I just remembered and stuff, and obviously there is quite some difficulties and stuff, wasn't it, lads?
Well, yeah, obviously, because we're all doing it, and obviously, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry for interrupting, but, bruv, you look a little bit pale.
We are a little bit pale, not wrong with me. Yeah, but you do look a little bit odd. Yeah, suppose we'll have to put the clip on.
Yeah, let's see what my brother does. Yeah.
Oh yeah, alright. Right, so it's down to me then, is it? So, obviously I just went into the, the menu, and lucky enough we haven't picked all the same car.
Well, then my other producers made sure we didn't, they?
Yeah, so I tried this one, and obviously, it's my car, and obviously I'm the highly skilled driver and all that. Look for my viewing lot.
Since bloody when?
I'm like, it's like in the weekend,
What the bloody hell's happened there?
Just a bit of skill kick around that bend. Look how fast I'm going.
Yeah, a little bit too fast, don't you think?
Yeah, actually. What? Oh no. Oh, you are well missing some time there.
What am I? He's making a right monkey of this or whatever. What do you mean? Hey, this car's quite hard to handle, alright? It takes a very highly skilled person. Really like to give me something, because that isn't highly skilled at all. This is highly skilled crashing, maybe. Yeah, well, if I was a stuntman, I'd be getting paid a lot of money for driving like that. But obviously, I don't, because I'm on the plane.
Obviously, you're doing it for real. You'd be able to grab a car by now, wouldn't you?
Obviously, of course I would.
They did that all the time. It's done there.
Well,
you need to slow down there, bruv. Oh, bloody hell, what's he going now? Oh, he's airborne now.
shut up, I know, but yeah.
Oh, he's trying to sneak round it now. Oh, what the hell? Oh dear. That's a new route I've never seen before.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was something wrong, my steering went.
Your steering went on the game?
Oh, yeah, it's like that Grandma Trizio game and all that, don't you think?
I don't think so, bruv.
What do you mean?
He's stuck, isn't he? He's trying to drive through the bloody bus now. I mean, that's the time. It's ticking. I mean, who do you think's got the best score out of lot of us?
Well, it's still ticking. I think we should leave it on. This is quite funny again.
Shut up, right? I mean, end of the day, I had a bit of bad luck. Why didn't you press triangle? I did, didn't I, in the end? Yeah, I'm finally on my merry way, and there. Obviously, if that didn't happen, I would have had a good score.
Well, you didn't have a bloody good score, did you? Rubbish! Well, we're going to look at our old scoreboard, and obviously my brother won't be on it.
What? I bloody know that. I told you, the faulty steering and all that lot. Look, it's a bloody game anyhow.
Never mind that, we'll see the old score. Now let's put it on our new one.
Yeah, and if feast your eyes, everyone. There's some more cars on it, ain't there now?
Well, yeah, me.
Well, what? Yeah, me and all.
Not me, but...
Well, obviously, and me.
Well, what do you mean,
yeah, we're on.
Somewhere,
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to do more mistakes.
Like you did about when YouTube started. You had 20 years on it, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did say 24 to the 2004. Fair enough. Anyhow, stop talking about all the mistakes and all that, though, because there's loads of mistakes in this program.
Yeah, well, you're driving and all that, bruv, ain't it? So, on that Porsche challenge, it's quite interesting, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was. And obviously, but now that on that double-sided sellotape, I think it's time to end the show.
What is double-sided sellotape for? That don't make sense.
Well, making a bombshell doesn't make sense, does it? What was that mean?
A bombshell?
Well, it's some part of history or something anyhow, but anyhow, we're finishing for this time being.
So, farewell everyone and enjoy the rest of your day or whatever. Alright, okay.
Just bugger off and get off!
I'm Mr. Duck.